Bloomberg Audio Studios.
Podcasts, radio, news.
Single best idea. Thank you for the feedback. We're just rolling this out. As I say, it's a work in progress. Actually, every show we do is a work in progress. Pro tip on how we put this together, which is a great team of, they're bookers, but they're also people that really try to keep in touch with the people that we talk to, how they fit in, and what they've been doing over the last 3 months, 6 months, 1 year. And our two guests today on Single Best Idea are the kind of thing where you look back and say, how'd they do? We're going to talk about Bitcoin in a minute with Professor Kiani from NYU, Ayesha Kiani running a hedge fund as well. But first, someone we can look back on, which is Michael Wilson. Michael Wilson is with Equity Strategy, Morgan Stanley, and of course was really noted over the last 18 months as someone very cautious about the lift in the markets. And as he outlined today in our extended conversation, he said, we got sort of the first lift, which I attribute to Ed Yardeni and Ralph Acampora, and Mike Wilson participated in the 2 Octobers ago lift, but maybe he didn't really see coming the shock of the bull market coming out of October of 2023. That lift in the markets, which you continue to see, Oracle today up big, and the rest of the exuberance that's out there has led to new leverage where, we make a joke about triple leveraged all cash fund. Well, it's a triple leveraged this fund, the Forple leverage. I haven't seen, Bob, have you seen 5X's, XXXXX leverage? I haven't seen that yet. Either is Mike Wilson. But here is Mike Wilson on our new desire, our demand for leverage.
Obviously last fall we had a lot of fear priced in, and now we have a lot of greed priced in. So we are seeing speculative activity pick up in a meaningful way. I would say the daily expiration options market is probably your single best example of that, where you have a lot of people sort of, in the stock market is like prop bets, almost like DraftKings and things like that. That to me is, signs that exuberance is pretty high. Now that doesn't have to end in tears, okay? Leverage isn't always bad. But, we have a situation where people are reaching for risk because, there's FOMO.
Yeah.
And, that's where the pendulum is right now, Tom.
Mike Wilson there of Morgan Stanley. We drove forward the conversation across the inflation report today. Bill Lee was wonderful with Milken Institute, Ira Jersey from Bloomberg Intelligence, adding a lot of value on an inflation report. I loved what Kathy Jones said out on Twitter with Schwab, where she said, this core service thing, guess what? It's ticking up. The fact is, who knows what the Fed's going to do March 20, but the answer is they're going to do less. Maybe come out with some new guesstimates. Michael McKee's better at that than I am. On leverage and on the exuberance out there, there's nothing more exuberant right now than the dash on Bitcoin from a lower price up to $72,000 today. Well-timed as a professor from NYU running a hedge fund, Ayesha Kiani. She's a big proponent of Bitcoin, and she talked a lot about the different tones of Bitcoin that are out there. Let's listen in to Professor Kiani.
In my most humble opinion, the underlying is the technology that it's built on, and that's something that I teach, so I could spend an entire day on it. The essence of blockchain, obviously, Bloomberg data on how, someone like Bloomberg could use, blockchains, that's the underlying asset. Obviously, if you would ask someone else, it would say, the essence of proof of work, or how it's mined, or how it's in limited quality, or how it's digital gold for my generation.
Let the debate begin. Oh, I can see the feedback from this. The answer is there are those that believe in proof of work. There are those that believe in a blockchain future for some form of Bitcoin, Ethereum, whatever. And there's a lot of other people just at New York University, Professor Kiani talking about as she teaches Bitcoin, a real substance there, or someone like Professor Emeritus Nouriel Roubini sharply on the other side of the debate. What I would say, whether you're in Bitcoin or not, whether you're thinking about getting in or not, be informed at least about the debate. Try to see where you fit in to the debate on Bitcoin. But the answer is, if you're not informed on this, you're going to get run over at some time. Of course, the big event coming up is halving. We'll have to see how that goes. It has to do with mining. I asked her about, where's the mine? And that itself is a huge debate coming out of China. China basically threw the Bitcoin miners out, I think, as a general statement, and they're spread around the world. This has been a lot of fun. We're doing Single Best Idea here with Mike Wilson and Ayesha Kiani. We'll continue to do it. Single Best Idea is a podcast. I think Apple Podcasts is the best place to get this, particularly for those of you that are, listening to 5, 6, 8, 10 podcasts a day. We're trying to keep this podcast wicked short, really under 6 minutes. It's just a touch of 2 guests today. We'll dive into it tomorrow. Damian Sassar rumored to be with us again. We're talking with his entourage right now. See if we can get him in earlier. We do this on Apple CarPlay, and we do it on YouTube. YouTube, you go into the box, you search Bloomberg Podcasts. It's there, a big white screen. It says Surveillance, and that's the 3-hour broadcast that we do every morning across America and worldwide for Global Wall Street and for you, Bloomberg Surveillance.